The story is told of Queen Elizabeth, who reigned in England and who had a custom of visiting in the homes of some of her subjects. On one occasion, she visited a little old widow who was a lovely Christian woman. Unfortunately, she had neighbors who were practically pagans. Granny, as the old widow was called, would witness to those about her, but to no avail. It seemed the more she witnessed, the more obstinate her neighbors became. One day, to her surprise, Queen Elizabeth stopped in to visit her. Needless to say, she was honored beyond words. After the Queen had gone, the pagan neighbors thought they would lay a trap for the poor widow woman. So they came to her and asked her and said, "Granny, who is the most honored guest you ever had visit in your home?" They were dumbfounded when Granny replied, "The most honored guest I've ever had visit in my home is Her Majesty the Queen." "Aha!" came the quick reply. They had trapped the old woman, and they quickly reminded her by saying, "Did you say the Queen? Ha ha, Granny, you slipped up this time. How about this Jesus you're always talking about? How great he is and how much he means to you, and more than even life. You made us believe that Jesus was the most important person in your life, bar none. And here you say the Queen is the most important person. Granny, you're a hypocrite." The little widow didn't so much as bat an eye, but replied, "Bless you, you have gotten it all wrong, because Jesus is not a guest, a visitor. He lives here. The Queen is right. The Queen is just, and just a guest." Right on, and the neighbors were put to silence. But as I read that delightful story, I began to think, in my own life, is Jesus just a guest from time to time, or does he really live in my life? There are all sorts of people who treat Jesus as a guest and nothing more. They're busy with the trinkets and toys of this world, and with never a thought about Jesus until they get into trouble. Then they call upon me to help them out of some situation. I had a man tell me of how he got into a bad problem. He prayed to God to help him, and he told me, "When I prayed, God heard from somebody he hasn't heard from for a long time." Well, bully for you. And I thought to myself, what kind of a man is it that calls only on the Lord when he's in trouble? Sure, if we have huge needs, go to Jesus, only sensible thing to do. Go ahead and pray to God when you're down and out. But by the same token, pray to him when things go well. Thank him. Ask him what he wants you to do. In other words, don't have Jesus just as a guest, but as our own personal Savior and friend. Jesus wants to reside in our life. So ask him in if you haven't done so. Admit you're a sinner. Ask him to come into your life and be your constant companion. Be like Granny. The Queen is a guest. Jesus is a resident. Heavenly Father, help us to put your dear Son first and have him on the throne in our life, residing there as long as we live, with us then when we die, and with us in heaven. Thank you for the Savior. In Jesus' name, amen.